Good evening, Milwaukee. It is 6 o'clock, and you are listening to The Uzi Show. Today, my co host is Fatma Hamdan. Fatma, say hi.
Hi, everybody.
Today, we're going to be talking about the best excuses to give a cop when you get pulled over. I think me and Fatma have a lot of experience with this, so we kind of looked it up as well because, we noticed we kind of get pulled over a lot. The both of us. I
Very
think,
true.
yeah. So, we're going to talk about that and about what we did at the grocery store together today. In honor of Fatma, I'm going to be playing you an Arabic song called
The Gat Qalbi, which means beats of my heart.
Enjoy.
ترقص فرح واحنا سوا دقات قلبي يا هوا ترقص فرح واحنا سوا دقات قلبي يا هوا ترقص فرح واحنا سوا طول حبيبي ولا تروح منك حنيني مرتوى يا هوا ترقص فرح واحنا سوا دقات قلبي يا هوا ترقص فرح واحنا سوا طول حبيبي ولا تروح منك حنيني مرتوى حبيبي قلبي اندلك يا كلمة اختصرت احساسي تغيب اللحظة اشتاق لك يا لحظة بعدك القاسي حبيبي قلبي اندهلك يا كلمة اختصرت احساسي تغيب اللحظة اشتاق لك يا لحظة بعدك القاسي يا طولنا طول السنة يا حلم من عمري انا طول السنة يا حلم من عمري انا يا حلم من عمري انا هي كلمة اختصرت احساسي لحظة اشتاق لك هي لحظة بعدك القاسية طولنا طول السنة يا حلم من عمري انا طول السنة يا حلم من عمري انا يا حلم من عمري انا دقات قلبي يا هوا ترقص فرح واحنا سوا دقات قلبي يا هوا ترقص فرح واحنا سوا قلبي يا هوا ترقص فرح واحنا سوا طول حبيبي ولا تروح منك حنيني مرتوى لا قلبي يا قمر تسلم لا روحي عمري وسنيني دمايل وانت ما تعلم غرامي يا منى عيني يا قمر تسلم لا روحي عمري وسنيني دمايل وانت ما تعلم غرامي يا منى عيني وقلبي اختارك يا قمر احلى الحلا بين البشر اختارك يا قمر احلى الحلا بين البشر احلى الحلا بين البشر قمر تسلم يا روحي عمري وسنيني وانت ما تعلم غرامي يا منى عيني وقلبي اختارك يا قمر احلى الحلا بين البشر اختارك يا قمر احلى الحلا بين البشر احلى الحلا بين البشر الحلا بين البشر دقات قلبي يا هوا
Welcome back to the Uzi Show. Okay, so we're going to talk about the best excuses to give a cop when you get pulled over. Mine are okay, if you are brown or you just look like a foreigner, you have an advantage, okay? And you should take that advantage. It can be a privilege sometimes, especially when you're getting pulled over. So, sometimes when I get pulled over by a cop, I act like I don't know any English. Okay, it gives a cop a hard time, and he gets really tired of just talking to you. And he's like, you know what? She doesn't even know what she's doing. Like, I'm not gonna give her a ticket. She probably won't even understand that I'm giving her a ticket. You know. So he pulls you over. Like, and he's like, ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over? And you'd be like, no English. I driving. You know. And you're like, can I see your license? You're like, what? Your license, your driver's license. Yes, I drive. Okay, it gives him a really hard time. Yeah. So that's one of the things you should do. It kind of works, you know. But yeah. Number 2, if you have a car like mine, I have a Toyota Corolla, an '06, and next to the speedometer is this light that you can switch on and off that either gives light to your speedometer or turns off the light. Okay? So you can quick turn it off, okay, and be like, my speedometer is actually broken, and I really can't see how fast I'm going, you know? So that's an excuse. It's really, sometimes it works, and they'll be like, yeah, oh my God, it actually is broken, you know, a cop who doesn't know that you can actually switch the light on and off. Does that happen in your car? Like, do you have that, Fatma?
I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't ever tried using that excuse. I never thought it would work, so.
Oh, you should check that out. Okay, number 3. Oh, God. If you're short, okay, or you can just pretend like you're short. You can be like, oh, I'm too short, so I have to concentrate on either the gas or the windshield. I picked the gas. You know? So, just so the car actually goes and runs. Feel free to comment. Oh, okay. Number 4. I like this one that I made up. You can be like, I'm actually from the future, and I forgot that cars don't fly in this century.
I thought that one was kind of funny.
Yeah. And then number 5. What did I write down here? I don't know. Just start miming with a serious face.
Very serious face.
A very, very serious face. Just start miming. Yeah, you just picture it in your head, first of all. Okay, just picture. Close your eyes. Ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over? Just start miming.
I can't even imagine what the police officer would think or say.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll start miming back.
Yeah.
What if he did start miming back?
Yeah.
Then he'd be really confused.
That'd be a weird situation.
Sorry, officer, I really don't know where to go from you to start talking. Oh my God,
Well, like if you're a
funny.
girl, you can just start crying or pretend crying and start talking about your perfect record and your 4.0 and the fact that you never gotten pulled over and act really scared.
I heard
I
a
might
lot
feel
of
sorry
girls
for you.
who cry. I heard a lot about a lot of girls who cry, but I don't think I can do that. I can't cry on the spot. I really can't. I mean, I have
Just
a
force
really
yourself.
horrible cry face. I think
She's
it'll scare
smiling.
him.
She's smiling and there's tears coming out of her eyes.
No.
That's funny. Oh my God. This one, okay, because I'm a film student, I don't know if this is funny or whatever, but I wrote down, sir, we're filming the sequel to Fast and the Furious, and right now you're getting in my way.
Oh my God, I would totally use that. That's my favorite movie. That's funny.
Yeah. But what are yours?
Okay, well, I'm not as creative as Uzma here, so I had to go online and search up of a few excuses that I thought were pretty funny, and I got all of these from youcanbefunny.com website. I know, very creative name, just like my creativity. Okay, so one of the excuses that I thought were pretty funny was, "Oh, officer, I saw your high beams and considered for a moment that you were a drunk driver, so I sped up to give you some room." Nowadays, when I feel like people are way too close behind me, I have it's like a manual dimmer on my mirror,
Uh-huh.
so you can kind of dim the lights behind you, which is very
Oh,
convenient.
that's cool.
So it doesn't blind you. I think a lot of cars have the automatic option of the mirrors
So
dimming.
you would dim the the
Dimming
lights.
Okay. Another one was, it's like a dialogue that's going on between an officer and a driver. So the officer goes, "Do you know why I stopped you?" Which is obviously always the first question they ask, which I think is fairly stupid because, I mean, everybody knows why they're getting pulled over, most of the
Sometimes you
time.
don't. One time I didn't know why I was getting pulled over. I got asked for my social security number.
What?
Yeah, girl, I got asked for my social security. I was like, oh no, he did not.
Was he a real officer?
He was, yeah, he was a real
I would have
officer.
checked his
I
gun
didn't,
and
I didn't,
his
I didn't even know that they
badge
could do
and-
that. I did not know that they could do that, but that was messed up.
What for?
Yeah, huh?
What for? Why did they ask you for your social
I don't
security
know.
number?
He didn't ask me. Do you know why I pulled you over? Do you know why? Blah blah blah. Do you have a driver's license? He didn't ask me any of that.
Maybe
he
he
said-
thought you were an immigrant.
He thought it was
and you're here
illegal. He literally
illegally.
thought it was legal. He knocked on the window and was like, "Do you have a social security number?" And then he tried to come back with a ticket. Okay, an $80 ticket. Okay, to make himself look like he wasn't an ass. And he's like, "Here, you were going 40 miles per hour." I'm like, "Okay," and I was 18 at the time, so he felt like really stupid. And he's like, "This is a cheaper ticket," and blah blah blah. And I was like, "Get out of my face! Get back in your car! I hate you! You're ugly!" Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, so this officer asked the very expected question, "Do you know why I stopped you?" And the driver asked the question back. So he goes, if I guess right, would I get a ticket?" And the officer was like, "You will still get a ticket." And when I read the response of the driver, I can't help but picture this driver saying it in like a kiddie tone or voice or, kind of like a helpless tone. But this is how I read it. The driver goes, "I don't want to play this game anymore." I can only imagine that confusing the officer. Like, what the hell? What game are we playing?
That's so funny. I don't want to play anymore. Oh, that's
man.
funny.
Okay, and another one was, it was a story, like a little story about someone who got pulled over. So it says, once an officer stopped a woman for going 50 miles per hour in a 25 mile per hour zone. When he asked if she knew the speed limit, she answered correctly. Then he questioned why she was going so fast. And the lady was like, "Oh, I just pulled out of the car wash and I was trying to blow dry my car." Like, that's very justified. And there was another one that was very similar to, which I thought was even funnier, but they were trying to blow a leaf off of their windshield. I swear to God, people nowadays are so lazy. I couldn't help but think of laziness. Like, can't you just pull over, remove whatever in the way? Like, do you really have to speed to try to get the leaf off of your windshield?
But I think she was trying to come up with an excuse, but she just sounded like a lazy person. Like, she just
Like,
sounded really stupid.
Okay, I get it. I mean, why a leaf? I mean, maybe a big paper. I mean, but how is a leaf gonna blind your sight from driving? Like, I don't. Unless she's OCD like me and that leaf was bothering her on the windshield, I can totally see myself doing that.
That's like saying, oh, it's basically giving yourself away that you were speeding. It's like saying, oh, like, I was just testing out your radar. Like, I just wanted to see if it worked. Hey, someone should say that one day. Just like, I just wanted to see if your radar worked. It does. Congratulations.
We should drive around town and see where all policemen are hiding. Like the main hiding spots and
and
go
then
out
create a
someday,
map and then
yes.
post it on Facebook. Stay away from these areas.
let's intentionally get cops to pull us over and come up with stupid excuses as
That's
to
so
why
funny.
we got
Do
pulled
they have
over.
a phone app that can tell where cops are? Because they have cop radars. They might as well add that to your
They
phone.
do, but a lot of them don't really work. It's
Oh.
a scam, a way of just making money. Believe me, I've tried.
That's how you know you get pulled over a lot.
So many times that it's still a point where I don't even have any more excuses. I'm just straight out honest, and my honesty's, completely throws off the officers. Like, are you, why are you being honest? Like, they're expecting a stupid excuse, But, I just want to go home, Most of the time, that is. Okay, so another one was, it was a person who posted a personal story. So it's read, the officer asked me if I knew how fast I was going. I replied that I honestly didn't know because my speedometer only went up to 120 miles per hour, and I had gone beyond that. He told me he had clocked me running around 136 miles per hour. I was impressed. Not bad for a four-door family sedan. I wonder
That's really
if that
funny.
guy went to jail. Because I know if you're going that fast,
You could go to
you
jail.
can go to jail.
They could arrest you for reckless driving.
I should
Yeah.
ask him. I'm curious to know.
Email him. Dear Speeder,
Did you go to jail?
did you go to jail?
Man, speaking of jail, I didn't write this one down, but there was a lady who had a little story about getting pulled over, and she had two kids in the back seat who were just fighting.
Mm.
So the officer pulls her over, and he was like, "Ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over?" And she was like, "Yeah, I was speeding. Can you please take me to jail so I can get some rest? Because the kids were driving her crazy." Oh man.
That's really funny.
yeah.
I
Okay.
think that if you can make a cop laugh, they shouldn't ticket you. They would feel unprofessional ticketing you, right? But some laugh and still ticket you.
Yeah, I think it also depends on the time of the month. I know towards the end of the month, I'm not even kidding. Towards the end of the
Are you
month, they
serious?
ticket you a lot more because they have to meet.
A certain
Yeah.
quota or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
I
it's
knew
so
about
sad.
this. Okay, I was watching 2020 one day a couple years ago. And there are cops that deliberately hide out in places where they know that they can give away tickets. That's lazy, okay? There was this one cop that hid out by a stop sign, okay? And would ticket people who would just roll a little. Even just a little. And I guess he made like a lot of money that way.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and so you know how like if you go to court and your cop doesn't show up, you can get the ticket removed. He would show up too.
That's crazy. I did that once. I rolled. I didn't stop at a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually, it was like a T intersection. So, I figured no one's going to see me. There's no cop coming from the opposite way. So I made a right real quick, didn't stop. And it's not a very busy intersection. So halfway down the block, I obviously see a car cop coming. I'm like, crap, I'm sure he didn't see that. I didn't think anything of it until he made a U-turn. I was like, oh, shit. Shoot. And I quickly went for my seatbelt because I was only a few blocks away from my house. So he pulls me over, and he obviously asked me why I was, or why he pulled me over, and I didn't know. And he goes, "Ma'am, you kind of rolled. You didn't stop at the stop sign back then." I was, "Oh, officer, that. Well, I started to slow down, but then I realized the car behind me wasn't, they weren't slowing down, so I had to quickly make the turn so he doesn't, hit me from behind." And he goes, "Ma'am, I didn't see a car behind him." I'm like, "Well, it was there." And he was like, "And also, ma'am, I saw that you reached for your seatbelt as soon as I made the U-turn." I'm like, "Well, to be honest, officer," and that's my thing now. Like, whenever I get pulled over, it's like, honestly, or to be honest, or the truth is, so they know I'm really trying to say the truth.
Yeah.
And I was like, I usually wait until the signal in my car goes off for me to wear my seatbelt because I always forget to wear it. I'm like, who even admits that? Only me. So he did laugh, but I didn't get a ticket. I got a warning. So he ended up asking me, why, and I told him why, and then I was reaching for my bag because I know what I have to do. And he's like, "Ma'am, why are you reaching for your bag?" And I was like, "I just want to get my license out." And he goes, "Wait for me to ask you for your license before you reach in your bag." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just trying, trying to
Yeah.
get that process over with." So yeah, he let me go. But he was a prick. I don't know how he saw it from half a block down the road that I didn't stop at the stop
Do
sign.
they have some kind of sensor or something to know that you? Because sometimes, I'm always wearing my seatbelt, but sometimes when I am trying to put the car in the garage, so I have to go down the street and turn around into our alley, and I'll see a cop, I'll just strap it over. I won't buckle it in. Quickly, if he's next to me, I'll make it look like I'm wearing the seatbelt, but I'm not really wearing the seatbelt. Yeah, just whoosh, strap it over.
Oh my god, that's
Um,
funny.
Yeah. Or sometimes I just do that anyway, just when I'm trying to park or something. Yeah, I don't know. But what was I gonna say? Okay, sometimes when you're really stern with the cop and you argue with him about how much the speed limit is or how much you think the speed limit is, then they're like, okay, she actually thought the speed limit was blah blah blah, and they let you go. Because one time I actually thought the speed limit was a certain speed limit, and he let me go, which was good. But because this was on Highway 100, and I was going 50, and the speed limit is like, okay, where's that coming from? Okay, let me shut that off. Do you hear that?
No. Oh, now I do. Is that from your
Okay,
phone?
I have no idea. Okay, I'm sorry. Random sounds. The music really wants to be on right now. It just loves to play. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I was on Highway 100, and the speed limit is 45 there. Okay, 45. Fatima says 45, by the way. So every time I say 40, I make her say it, Fatima.
44.
She's trying hard. Anyway, so I was going
Kindergarten.
50, 5 over, and I get pulled over by a cop as soon as I turn on Forest Home. As soon. And so he's like, "Do you know how much the speed limit is?" And I was like, "It's 45." He's like, "No, it's not. This is Forest Home Avenue. It's 35." And I was like, "I was just on Highway 100. It's 45." And he's like, "I'm gonna give you a warning. Slow down." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever." But one time I was going literally 25. I was extra careful, okay, because there's a school around, and I'm very sensitive to to children as a pedestrian. If it's an adult, I really don't care, you know. But I saw the children's sign, and I'm like, okay, let me go like 20 miles per hour, right? I get pulled over. And I'm like, why the hell am I getting pulled over? Like, so I'm thinking, is my tail light out? Like, what's wrong? Like, is my door open? You know, is my light busted? And I get pulled over, and he's like, do you know how much the speed limit is? I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious?
It's 2
I'm
miles
like,
per hour.
it's 25. It's 25, and I was going 20. Okay. I'm like, it's 25. It's a residential area. I know how much the speed limit is. I saw the school sign. You know, I'm like defending myself like a lawyer. Okay. And he's like, actually, ma'am, it's 15. And I was like, excuse me? That's like your car isn't even going at 15 miles per hour. Like, you're not even driving.
I just get out and walk at that point. I can walk faster
I
than
don't walk
that.
faster than that. Anyways, he let me go.
Oh my God, that's so funny. One time I got pulled over in Shorewood, and I was not speeding, so I really didn't know why I got pulled over. So when he asked me, why I got pulled over, I was like, honestly, officer, I really don't know. And he goes, ma'am, you have your high beams on. And I was like, oh, I haven't been able to turn them off for a few days now. I really don't know how to turn them off. So he reached into my car and pulled the signal
string.
thing.
Yeah.
And then it turned off. I couldn't help but laugh, and he was just laughing like, you are so dumb. You are so dumb. You know that song?
No, there's a song called "You Are So Dumb."
Yeah, I remember they made about the guy who was on the news. They brought him because he was talking about his sister who almost got raped or something.
Oh no.
About somebody who crawled into her window. Hide your kids, hide your wives.
Oh my God! Yes. Oh my God! I totally remember.
You are so dumb.
Hide your kids, hide your wife. You are so dumb.
Oh man.
Oh
too funny.
my God, that's funny.
Okay, so another one of my excuses that I thought were funny that I read on that website was, I got pulled over once for driving a little on the not so sober side. The cop leaned down to my window and said, "Your eyes are a little glossy. Have you been drinking?"
I love them.
To which I replied in a matter-of-fact tone, "Your eyes look a little glazed. Have you been eating donuts?"
That's so funny and offensive.
And very stereotypical too.
Yeah,
you know,
seriously. But my question is, why are cops such pricks? Like, why are they so mean?
I don't know. They
It-
take
I-
advantage of their authority. They feel
Yeah,
like
are they trained to be mean or something, or are they just taking advantage?
Not all. You know what? As much as I do not like officers, there are some really good officers out there that I've come across.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last few times that I've gotten pulled over, I mean, knowing that they know what my speeding record is like after they pulled it up, I mean, they let me go with a warning each time. Like,
Yeah.
just slow down, fat me. Just slow
Fat
down.
me.
Fat me.
Fat me.
Just slow down. And then one officer tried arguing with me about my my accident record. Ma'am, you got, a couple accidents, lots of speeding. Just slow down. I was like, hey, all those accidents. They were not my fault. He goes, ma'am, that's debatable. And I couldn't help but laugh because, you know, what
That's
does he
really
know?
funny. Yeah, if you have like a lot of points on your record, sometimes they'll give you a warning because they don't want you to get your license suspended because they know how hard that's gonna be for you
Yeah.
to get your license back.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. That actually happened to me once.
Yeah.
He was like, he came back. He was just, please slow down.
Yeah, maybe some officers are pricks because they do have a lot of people who are very rude when they do get pulled over. So they kind of take it out on so many people.
Yeah. But one time, there was a time I was being so nice. You know what I mean? Because I really didn't know. And I started talking, and this officer was a prick. Like, he was an a-hole. He was like, don't interrupt me when I'm talking.
Dang.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, are you serious?
Wow.
I'm sorry, but your authority to me is nothing. Like,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah. See, you never win. If you're too nice, then they look at you like you're crazy, and if you're very rude, then they're like, "Oh, I'm really gonna give you a ticket." And if you're like, whatever, you know, you're never gonna win. I
Yeah.
think it's all luck.
It's on who's your cop, who your cop is. What if you got pulled over and then you rolled down your window and then you're like, would you like a cookie?
Oh my God, I read that on this website. Too,
What?
but it wasn't.
Are you serious?
No, it wasn't a cookie though. It was
Oh.
it was donuts. You know, people were rushing to go to Krispy Kreme donuts or something, and a group of friends, so they go get a dozen of donuts or whatever, and they get pulled over, and then the officer,
Give
you
him
know,
a donut,
the
quick.
officer pulls him over, and he was like, do you know why I pulled you over? And then they're like, officer, would you like a donut? He grabbed the box, the dozen, and he goes back to his car and just drives off. And the friends were like, dude, you could have at least left us a single donut. He took the whole box and just drove off.
Oh
That is so
my
funny.
God, that's hilarious. Okay, that is stereotypical. That is
Yes.
feeding into the stereotype. I'm gonna make sure to keep a box of donuts with
Yes,
me
me
every
too.
time I'm driving.
Couple of dozen, just in case.
just in case I get pulled over more than once that day. Anyways, you guys, we're gonna take a break. Here's a Bollywood song called Dil Duba from the movie Khaki, which means my heart melted.
दिल डूबा नीली आंखों में ये दिल डूबा महबूबा महबूबा बस ये जान ले महबूबा दिल डूबा नीली आंखों में ये दिल डूबा महबूबा महबूबा बस ये जान ले महबूबा आशिक हूँ दीवाना हूँ तेरे लिए कुछ भी कर जाऊंगा इश्क में तेरे जीता हूँ तेरे लिए ही मर जाऊंगा
मैं तेरे छाँव से मैं न पाऊंगी और एक दीवाने जा ऐसी वैसी बना के बातें मुझे न तू उलझा रे
मिट जाऊंगा दिल तेरा जीत के दिखलाऊंगा पीछा ना छोड़ूंगा चाहे जितना तड़पा दिल डूबा नीली आंखों में ये दिल डूबा महबूबा महबूबा बस ये जान ले महबूबा
बड़ी तड़प है बड़ी कशिश है मेरी तो चाहत में हजार मजनू बने हैं पागल मेरी मोहब्बत में
तुझे एक दिन जाने मन प्यार की लड़ियां पहनाऊंगा देखेगा सारा जहां तुझे ले जाऊंगा दिल डूबा आशिक हूँ दीवाना हूँ तेरे लिए कुछ भी कर जाऊंगा
back, as you can tell because of the laughter. So I went to Pick and Save with Fatma today, and
She was very bored.
I
Very, very bored.
okay, I wasn't bored. I was not bored. I just like to entertain myself, and I like to make every task fun. You know, I don't like tasks to be dry and like, okay, we're going grocery shopping, we're getting the groceries, we're buying the groceries. I like to spice up my grocery shopping. I like to, make it fun for myself. So, I start putting random things in the cart. And let me remind you, this is Fatma's grocery shopping. Okay, Fatma's grocery shopping. So there's this, like where the toys are, there's this basket of like stuffed animal pillows. Like they have like giraffes and monkeys and like koalas or whatever. So I'm like, hey. And I start like stuffing the cart with these stuffed animals. And I turn around and these like little 3-year-olds are gawking at me, okay? And they're like, huh? She's taking all the teddy bears. And I'm like, Anyways, I roll away with the cart to meet Fatma. And Fatma's busy trying to put one thing back that I put in the cart. Okay, this one thing. Yeah,
Two
I have
things.
like
It was 2 things. It was lard and it was imitation
Banana.
bananas or something. I was like, what the heck?
yeah. We don't eat lard, so I just thought it would be funny to put lard in. Like,
It totally threw me off though because when we
Like,
first
is
went
this
in
my
the
cart?
aisle, yeah, I was like, wait, where's my cart? I didn't get lard. I didn't get no bananas. What the heck is this?
yeah. And things that are funny, like imitation banana. I don't know why that just cracks me up. Like imitation banana. Why? Why? Okay. Anyway, but so I come back with these stuffed animals, and finally she gives up with the lard, and she just sticks it anywhere. and I'm like, well, since you did that, I guess we have to put these stuffed animals back. And she's like, yeah. And then we just start putting them in random places. Okay, and we like set them up really nicely. It's not like we just put them on one shelf. No, we put each animal on a different shelf in a different way. Okay, so Fatima put the giraffe like by the soups or something like in between, and she's like, "This is really good advertising." Okay. And we stick a monkey in the freezer, like in the fridge or whatever. Okay, like looking out the window. Okay, we stick the monkey like that. And then the people on the security cameras, like, I was expecting like 2 guys to run out and be like, "Ma'am, like you need to leave the store." Okay, but that didn't happen, so I'm guessing that they were just entertained. Okay, and so the guys who stock the groceries, they have a cart and then they're sitting there stocking the groceries. So I was looking at this guy, and this lady walks past and she's asking him where something is, and he's like, "Oh, let me show you." So he leaves for a second, okay, and I put a stuffed animal in his basket, and then me and Fatima like sprinting away. We're like, quick before he comes back and run away.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it's really funny. So you can make grocery shopping really fun for yourself. Like I read online that you could put random things in like other people's carts and like things that nobody would buy. Like how like people are turning away from their carts, they're looking at the shelves. Just like while you're walking past, just like drop something in there. Like
It's funny. I've watched some videos in the past about people who pretend they would dress up. They would get attire
Mhm.
based on the dress code of that particular store, whether it was especially grocery stores, or I think one was specifically for Target. So they would wear like the red shirts and like the khaki pants, and
Oh my
they'd
god,
walk
that's so
around
funny. We should
Target,
do that.
and they would ask like people, like, what would you like me to help you find? And there was this one guy, he literally had boxes of toys, and this was like right after, I think it was like during Black Friday. I mean, it was from his hand all the way to like over his head, just stacks of toys. And he goes up to this lady's car and he just puts everything in there while she's watching. He goes, "Yep, you're gonna need this, and you're gonna need this. Yep, okay." And then he just like put his hand over the cart just to make sure that like nothing is gonna fall out because it was overflowing. And then he just like walked away. Totally something Uzma would do.
That's so funny. When I was younger and I used to go grocery shopping with my dad, I used to put things in there. Like like when he wasn't looking, because I don't know why. Like I had this fear of like him saying no to something that I wanted. Like, and so like I would just put like cookies and chips and candy, and then we would get to the register, and like my dad is very oblivious sometimes. So like, you know, she would, you know, we would purchase it, and then he'd be like, "Why is the bill so high?" Like, you know, like, what did I buy? You're like, I'm not coming here again.
Oh my God, when my brother and I were younger and we used to go to the grocery store with my mom, I hated grocery shopping. Until this day, it's not my favorite thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we would go to the fruit department and we'd take like a bite out of the fruits,
Mm-hmm.
whatever looked appealing, and then we'd flip it over and put it back in, you know, because obviously we can't eat the whole thing. So we just take a bite out of random fruits and flip it over, put it back, or even like going in between the aisles. I don't think they have these anymore, but those like little red machines that are in between each aisles, and they have these like coupons that automatically come out, and you pull it, and then another one automatically comes out. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Those like little red things.
Yep.
And I don't know why I used to go around collecting them. I used to like go down every aisle. If I see a coupon sticking out, I'd run and like pull it out and put it in my pocket and keep going down all the aisles and just collect. That was how I made grocery shopping fun for myself when I was a kid with my mom.
That's really funny. But yeah, you can make a lot of tasks fun for yourself, like laundry. I try to make laundry fun for myself where I try to play basketball with my laundry. I give myself points for being able to throw it into the dryer from a long distance. That's fun. I like to make, you know, tasks fun for myself. I don't know if you guys watched the show Boston Legal. It used to air, and it ended, I think, in 2005. And the two main characters were Denny Crane and Alan Shore, played by James Spader and William Shatner. And they were lawyers. It was a law show. And they would make their cases really fun for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So they would joke around. They were best friends, and they worked at the same firm. And they would do really funny things in court, you know, just to entertain themselves. Like, one day they had, like, Alan had a really bad judge who was just so harsh, he wasn't being fair. And, you know, judges should be fair. And this was a murder trial. And he was like, he was defending the defendant or whatever. Yeah, the defendant.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, you know, he's like, Your Honor, I asked that you accuse yourself. And then the judge is like, on what grounds? He's like, because you're the real killer and everybody knows it. and then the judge put him in jail for a day, but it was funny.
I don't remember specifics, but I know you got me hooked on Boston Legal.
They're really funny,
Yes,
right?
They're very funny. I love how Denny Crane always ends the trials with Denny Crane.
He always ends like everything that he's saying in court with his name. He's like Denny Crane. One of the times he just like said something so unrelatable and it was just like Denny Crane, and then won the case.
Oh my God, I don't know why this stands out to me. I love action and violent movies, and I just do. But Denny Crane, I think there was an episode that I remember
He
watching.
pulled out his
with-
gun?
Yeah, he pulled out his gun, and as he was shooting the person who robbed him, you know, he took his wallet or whatever. He like shot both of his feet and both of his knees. He was like foot, knee, and like every time he would say something, he would shoot like a foot, and totally made him paralyzed
Yeah.
in his legs. But I don't know why I find that very entertaining. I'm
Yeah, like,
horrible, but it was
This
funny.
guy, he just like has a gun with him all the time, and you never know when in the show he's gonna pull out his gun, because he's such a strong conservative and he loves guns. But it's so funny. They make it really funny.
Yeah.
But I guess nowadays, you know, you wouldn't take that as funny because of everything that's been going on lately. And I think they really come down on that, especially the media. I think they don't want to make guns seem like, you know, cool or funny or anything like that.
Which I
because
think
they're
is
really
very
not.
important, you know.
Yeah. And that's why I think later in the show, Denny Crane started carrying a paintball gun instead of a real gun.
Oh, you know, I never thought of that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Like, him and Alan got into an argument once, and Denny got so frustrated he took his paintball gun and shot Alan. And then Alan's like, you shot me. And then Alan, I guess he got a gun from, like, his desk or something, a paintball gun, and he shot him back. And, like, their whole office just had paint all over the place,
That
which
was
was
pretty
funny.
funny.
And then one of their like the boss came by and they're like, "What the hell is going on?" And Danny's like, "Politics."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, sooner or later we'll probably be, carrying around water guns.
Water guns.
Yeah.
Spraying them down. That's really funny. But speaking of like, doing fun things and stuff like that, fun things and just jokes just make me so happy inside. Like when my insides tickle, I just feel so good afterwards, I really want to do the Brazil elevator joke. The elevator prank.
Oh my God, so funny.
If you guys haven't seen it already, there is a video trending online called the elevator prank in Brazil. So you should totally YouTube that. It's so hilarious. So they have these people who go into an elevator. And they go into an elevator and the scary music starts playing, okay? And then the lights turn off. And this elevator has mirrors all over the place, too. Anyways, and then the lights turn off. And this little girl, okay, like she's dressed up as like a zombie. Not like really a zombie, but they make her look like she's really dead. And she's holding a doll, like a really scary doll. And she crawls out because I think they have this little compartment. Anyways, she crawls out and she stands there. She just stands there and then the lights go back on, okay? So the lights are off and she comes out and the lights go back on and all of a sudden like this girl is in the elevator with them, like this dead girl. Okay. And these people are like, oh my God, they're crying. They're so scared. They're like praying to God. They're like, you know what I mean? It's just so fun. Like at the last one, they followed the guy all the way out the building because he was running. He ran out the elevator and out the building.
That's funny. I think, yeah. And they did it with various groups. So there were some people in there on their own, and then other people in
They
there.
were together.
Yeah, with
They're
other
trying
people.
to protect each
The
other.
people who were together were so funny. You could tell how, selfish we are and how we don't give.
Yeah.
We
We
don't
put
think
someone
about
else
other
in front of
people.
us.
Yeah. Like there was a lady who was clinging on to another lady's leg. I mean, like clinging onto it, like the lady's leg is gonna save her from this dead girl that's like, or supposedly dead girl that's standing in front of them.
We should totally do it. Like we should do something like that. I think that we should find out, what the logistics are of doing things like that. And then film it, put some hidden cameras in places. Like if I had hidden cameras, like, very small cameras, oh my God, I would have so much fun with them. But that's something that I really want to do.
You already do have a lot of fun with pranks. I know in the summertime, it was I think around summertime, we went to a camp and Uzma, the whole time we were there, I have to do something funny. We have to do a prank. I mean, I want to scare the girls, and I mean it's tradition, okay? So this girl, she bought this crazy looking mask. I mean, just putting it on and knowing that Uzma's behind it scared the crap out of me.
Mm-hmm.
So she puts on this mask and she's like, I'm gonna use this. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. So we were all, I mean, it was pitch dark outside and everyone was sitting around a bonfire. And, Uzma was like, okay, we have to think of a code word. So I know when to get up and go behind the trees and just creep out of nowhere. So the code word was chocolate. I don't know why,
Oh, to get more chocolate for the s'mores.
Oh,
yeah.
yes, there we go. It was chocolate. So she gets
So
up.
we were counselors at this camp.
I wasn't a counselor. Uzma was a
I was
counselor.
a counselor.
So she, she says, I'm going to go get chocolate. And she gets up and there was a, presentation
woods,
going on
the
around the woods, around the bonfire. And Uzma comes creeping out of nowhere and she's limping. So it really looks like, a freaking ghost coming out of like
The
the
woods.
woods. Okay. And all of these girls were like feeding themselves, like feeding each other to the supposed ghost that was coming. They were just pushing themselves in front of Uzma, like, Uzma can eat these girls while I have some time to run away, and either crawling on the grass. It was the funniest thing ever.
Yeah. It was really funny.
Yes, it was.
All of everyone who wasn't, who wasn't attending the camp was in on it. So we were all just waiting. And okay, I scared myself because I had to walk. Okay, there's a point in the woods that you can't see over. Okay, like when you have a bonfire and the fire is burning, you can only see up to a point when you're in the woods. Okay, I had to walk through the woods with the crickets and the toads and the frogs. Okay, in the dark. In the dark, so you wouldn't know that anything was happening. Okay. Like next to a stream, and I'm like, oh God, some creature is gonna eat me. Okay. And then I had to like focus my vision on the fire because I could only see the fire because it was that dark. I was actually afraid prepping for this prank. But funny thing is like they were telling Jin's like scary stories. And all I saw was like I don't know who spotted me because I didn't even know they would get that scared so early. But as I was limping, like all I saw was a crowd of people. Like they're all sitting in the benches, all get up at once. It was just like whoosh, you know, like in unison. Like they were all just like started running. But it's funny. Camp is funny. You do a lot of fun things there.
And it helped that the mask you were wearing was white, so that was the first thing we saw. The face.
Was it white?
It was white. It was like this, like
I thought it was gray.
it was like a grayish white, but it was more on the white side than gray. And it was just black. Clothing was all black. So all you see is this face.
He's just in the middle of
creepiest
nowhere. It's just a
thing.
face, nothing else.
Oh man.
Oh, that's really funny. Do you ever try putting Vaseline on someone's door? You should do that to your siblings. Didn't I tell you to do that before?
Yeah.
You should go home and put it on their doorknob, and so they can't open the door. Or they're struggling.
That's funny. I remember when you came over, you stacked a whole bunch of cans in front of one of my siblings' room. So when they opened the door, all the cans would fall into their bedroom. Like in a pyramid. Just stack them.
That's funny.
That's funny. But Uzma has a lot of fun when she comes over too because, you know, I'm a neat freak and some of my family members are the same way. So she'll put things out of place on purpose because she knows, you know, that people around are going to pay attention to it. So she just has fun.
Yeah.
That.
I like to make things fun. It's fun. It makes you feel good. I think that everybody should, you know, loosen up and this holiday, you know, pull a prank on their family or something. But it makes things memorable.
Yeah,
It really
for
does.
sure.
It really does. But anyway, we're about to head out, so I'm gonna play a Punjabi song. It's a Bhangra song called Captain Bhangra Da. I think that means I'm the captain of Bhangra by Ravi Dal.
44.
44. Yeah, Fatma has a Brooklyn accent. She's from here, though, so we have no idea how this happened. Play, damn it.
Check that cat there, alongside the captain Bhangra.
All right, you guys have to listen or watch this video that Fatma introduced me to on YouTube today. It's called 1 Pound Fish. Watch the original video, and then I guess Warner Brothers like gave him what?
$1 million contract, and this occurred in like London. It was his way of selling fish. I mean, and his voice is awful, but I mean it's very, very funny.
Yeah, you should check it out. But yeah, that was the Uzi Show. Tune in next Sunday at 6 p.m.